Hello friends and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the How to Kill Your Scraps with Style Summer YouTube Hop. It's actually really funny because we're doing a fun hop this month to showcase the leftovers of our kit now that we've reached the end of August. And if you guys haven't caught up with the rest of the things I've made with my August kit, I'll have my August playlist linked down below so you guys can see why I have very few scraps left in this kit. I think it's funny because I started with a 12 by 12 paper pack. These are the only two matching patterns I have left, so I use, the leftovers of that to create this background. I had this leftover journaling tag that I put in the top right from Maggie Holmes, and I had some of these puffy stickers left. Really, I just wanted to make a double page layout with the two matching patterns I had left. So I pulled out these Disney photos. There's 6 photos here of when we met Goofy and Mickey, and this was at Epcot, as I'm sure several of you can recognize. And this pattern paper in the back from Pink Fresh Studios Joyful Day collection really reminded me of Epcot because of the geometric pattern, although it's not triangular. Pretty similar even though it's hexagonal. But the pinks really helped bring out the pinks in the background of the photo drop, and I just think that using up the leftover items in your kit can be really overwhelming. I'm lucky enough to have used a ton of this kit already, hence why I don't have a ton of scraps to work with. But if you are faced with a dilemma that you have a ton more embellishment scraps versus paper scraps, perhaps you ran out of paper even, what's really nice is you can always go back in your stash and find paper to go with the embellishments you have left over. So what I ended up doing was having the background paper, which was already solidified. Then I made my own color scheme. So knowing I had that journaling piece in the top right with that navy color, I knew I might want to bring in some more navy. And of course, looking to my photos for inspiration, I saw the purples and the teals. Luckily, purple was in my kit a little bit, but you'll see me struggling here for a while to bring in anything that I could make this layout work with. So you saw me look through a ton of Disney product that I had, but then I ended up finding teal and purple was my meant to be color scheme based off of the photos and based off some embellishments I have that are just scrap embellishments lying around. Because a lot of times you get to the end of an embellishment set, you get to the end of a sticker set, and you just don't know what to do with it. And at that point, when I do get to the end of something, it's dwindling, I just look at color. There's not really good salvation for that unless you still have parts of that actual collection. And in my case, I rarely do own the collection. So here I pull out leftover teal and pink pieces from random selections. And as you guys might know if you follow me, I am very much so a kit cheater. I love looking outside of my kit for things to help make my pages the best pages they can be, but having that starting point of a kit can be really helpful for so many. And if you do run out of things in your kit, like we're identifying in this specific hop, washi tape can really help build out a kit and really help build out the color scheme you want to make. So you'll see me here pulling out pinks and teal washi tapes because I think that really helps solidify a color scheme, adds a little bit of pattern, without needing a necessary reliance on pattern paper. So here I'm looking through my leftover puffy stickers from my kit, pulling out some of those pink stars, looking at some of the leftover word phrases from my kit. Lots of leftover pieces, which can be really hard to put together sometimes because obviously you bring things together into a kit because they somewhat match, not necessarily because they're a perfect match. So pulling those in when you can be a little bit stressful, especially towards the end when there's very little things left to choose from. So since I pulled in this teal paper, I am going to punch it with my scallop punch by Fiskars. It's funny, this is definitely one of the oldest punches in my stash, but I pull for it whenever I want a border punch. It's either this scallop with the eyelet holes or the plain scallop with no eyelet holes, but I went for the more playful one. I definitely could have done something different for the edging here, but I thought this would work. And with this kind of setup with, a double page layout, it can also be overwhelming because if you're working with a kit and you don't have matching supplies, sometimes it's really hard to figure out how to do a double pager. And I really like pattern paper backgrounds versus a white cardstock background, so that's why you'll see that if I do have 2 of the same patterns left, I often hold on to them to hold out for a double page layout because I think they're really fun to do. And oftentimes I do have enough photos to do double page layouts here and there, but it can be really hard if people like myself who have that style that want that matching background don't have that. And I decided again, since I don't have a ton of embellishments left over, I think I had 4 ephemera pieces left in the die cut pack that was in this kit. I decided to do some mixed media, and I actually opened a new mixed media product, and this is the Light and Fluffy Modeling Paste from the Crafter's Workshop. And I also used my new Vicky Bouton scraper tool because my other craft knife was dirty. So I ended up pulling this out, and I know several of you wanted to see me use this. And it works really well on the straight side. I actually use the smallest side because I like better control of my products. And put it through this stencil, which is from Echo Park. And if you guys have this modeling paste, it is a bit different than any other modeling paste I've used. It is so lightweight that you could accidentally put down way too little and therefore get different results. So on the left hand side, you can't even tell it's there. Like, I could barely tell it was there in person. If you could see it on video, that's pretty epic, but I could barely see it in person. So what I end up doing is the second time around on this bottom section, I do a much thicker layer, so not pushing nearly as hard to scrape extra up. And then I have to go repeat the other layers, which worked out really well. I know sometimes layering modeling paste cannot always work, but in this case it did. So I redo those layers, and it's really funny because if you do mixed media, you're always afraid you're going to cover it all up. And guess what I do on this layout? I covered it all up. Not all of it, but a majority of it gets covered up, which I don't necessarily mind. I think it's fine. It's just a little bit annoying when that happens, especially when you're not realizing it's happening, because I just glued the stuff down the way I wanted it, not necessarily taking into account the mixed media aspect of it. So now that I have a bunch of these die cuts in place, and again, these are just leftovers that sit in a bowl on my desk. I don't know if you guys have the junk bowl on your desk, but I have a bowl that holds all of the leftovers from kits. They go in there to die. They go in there to be pulled from now and again, like for layouts like this one. So I pulled in a bunch of those graveyard pieces, the graveyard scraps of ephemera and embellishments, and pulled them together to make some clusters. So originally I thought the die cut at the top that says Happy Day would be my title, but you'll end up seeing that changes, and obviously from the title of this video you know it's a little bit different than Happy Day, but I pull in some My Mind's Eye, different collections there, some Doodlebug, some Ellie Studio, random bits and pieces that have yet to find a home, because a lot of times I never put them back with their collection. And if you guys have seen my die cut storage before, I keep them in binders and rarely in their actual die cut packs for very long. So I end up covering up a lot of my mixed media on both sides, and then I create a little fun embellishment cluster beneath this photo. And if you guys have also been following along with August, you'll know that I've had a ton of fun and a ton of usage out of my Maggie Home sticker book, and this layout is no exception. So if you guys need sticker book inspiration, I'm almost positive I used that sticker book on every single layout this month in at least 5 different ways. I love that sticker book to death, and eventually it will be finished. So if you guys want to see a ton of empties, stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed so you guys can see my monthly favorites and my wrap up coming up here at the end of August, because I have a ton of empties this month. I'm so happy to share that with you guys, and it's super fun to keep track of, especially when you're trying to use up things like your scraps and your scrap embellishments. Definitely a fun thing to keep track of. So if you guys are interested in that, you can check out my other videos on my channel where I've shared previous Kill a Kit videos, as well as where I'm at with my scrap and my use it up section. So here's where the washi tape comes in. I used a small strip of the Mambi washi tape all across the bottom of the photos on the right hand side. Then I used a teal washi tape from that same brand, Me and My Big Ideas, on the left hand cluster. And then the sticker book action comes into play. Luckily I already have gold on this layout, and this sticker book is well known for all of the gold pieces. And I pull in some hearts and some little pieces here and there. Remember this date. I really love those pieces. I've used a ton of those this specific month. Some hot pink and some teal, because that is my color scheme here. And it really just comes together effortlessly. And I don't know how it happens, guys. I know several of you guys ask how this happens, how it just magically happens. It just does. I picked a color scheme, I picked out things that match the theme, which is fun, and travel, and that's how it happened. And here's where I start working on my title. I pull out in One Canoe 2 phrase sticker that says Dream, and then I use these bright pink thickers. Even though they have pink foil on them, I think they complement the gold foil well, and go up with the rest of my title, so it says Dream Come True. And I love expanded titles like this, so if you guys have a leftover scrap phrase sticker like this where it says Dream, you can always expand that with your other supplies and using other thickers or letter stickers to spell out the rest of it and make it really unique so it takes up more space or so it fits your exact theme and mood better. But here I'm going to glue those down with some extra adhesive because they do not stick for beans. And I know a lot of people are frustrated by that, but it's just one of the things we've learned to deal with as crafters. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hop along to the rest of the amazing scrap themed layouts for the end of the month of August. Be sure to check them all out because there's lots of great inspiration. And let me know if you guys want to see more double page layouts, more Disney layouts. I'll have all of the playlists linked down below, as well as ways you can take action to help with everything going on in the world in the description box down below. But really good memories. I'm so happy they're finally scrapbooked. These are some 2017 photos, so it's always good to get some older ones back in the books. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to continue to support my channel. But how cute is that photo of Goofy? So precious. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.